Hey guys, welcome back to Custom Builds. Today we are going to build a PC which is based on a Core i3 10100F with a GTX 1650. This is a great point to start PC gaming. For the processor we are using Core i3 10100F which has 4 core and 8 threads based on LGA 1200 socket, which is one of the best entry level chip. Performs really close to a Core i7 7700K which was launched in 2017. Now this is the main part that determines your gaming experience, the graphics card. At this budget we will not be able to buy anything more than this. And for the motherboard we are using Gigabyte's H410 MS2. Since we are using i3 we have to maintain a budget, strict budget. So we are choosing an entry level good motherboard from Gigabyte, and we'll be able to use that motherboard and we can go to a Core i5 10400F. We can put a 10700, but it's not recommended because 10700 pulls a lot of power. To install the processor, we have to open the retention arm and we have to slowly insert the processor inside the socket and close the retention arm. After we install the processor, we need to put thermal paste and the cooler backplate. We need to put the screws which are necessary for the cooler to be in its place, and we'll put the cooler on top of the processor. After we install the cooler, we're gonna open the clips in the RAM slot and we are gonna slowly insert the RAM inside the socket until we hear a click. And if we hear a click, we can assume the RAM is installed properly. When motherboard is out of the way, let's go to the cabinet part. We're gonna prepare the cabinet by installing power supply, fans, hard disk and lot of other devices that we are gonna install. Usually in this cabinet we are installing the hard disk and SSD. After we install the hard disk and SSD, let's go back to the motherboard. Before installing the motherboard inside the cabinet, we need to install the IO shield. That is very much necessary, and we're gonna slowly load on the motherboard. And we'll also have to manage the standoffs which are to be installed inside the cabinet before we install the motherboard. After we install the motherboard, we have to align the motherboard with the standoffs and the IO shield, and we're gonna install all the screws. After we install the screws, we're gonna put 8-pin EPS connector and 24-pin ATX connector to the motherboard along with the front panel headers and SATA connectors which are required from the hard disk or any other SATA devices to the motherboard. After all these things are complete, we're gonna install the graphics card. To install the graphics card, we'll remove the metal cover from the cabinet and we're gonna remove the lock which is set on the motherboard, a clip lock which is set on the motherboard. And we're gonna slowly insert the graphics card to the first primary PCI slot, and we're gonna screw the graphics card. After we screw the graphics card needs supplementary power in this case, and we're gonna take a 6-pin power connector from the power supply and we're gonna install it to our graphics card. After this, the build is complete. We're gonna install OS and we're gonna move to the testing part. Since we are using a Core i3 and a 1650, the temperatures were like really awesome and the build was totally complete. At this budget standpoint, we built an excellent PC, and this PC is more than capable of handling all our AAA titles in 1080p medium to high settings for at least 1 to 2 years, and the build was super stable. This processor and GPU combo provides a great value for money and it doesn't break your bank. This level of computing at an entry level is really impressive, and this can handle all our games and most of our general computing things. We can also edit video on this thing as we edit the videos in a Core i7 7700K. Thanks for watching the video. If you like the content, I appreciate you to like, share, subscribe. To know more about our PC related services, you can visit the link given below, which is www.custombuilds.online. This is Kiran from Custom Builds, signing out. Bye.